automatically? Because I know I updated it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are live today for, I believe, our final episode with the fabulous, nope, still the wrong way, Nicole Barham. Y'all, I'm so excited for today's episode. Okay.
Me too.
We have really gone on a journey over the last few months. We have talked about why people don't feel safe with their money. We've talked about ways to build in buffers, ways to reduce the tension. And today, we're talking about how you finally achieve money mastery.
Yes. Excited for this episode.
Me too. Me too. So, where should we start? If I know what I need to know about the pieces of my money, why is it still so hard for me to do the things, to manage the money?
Yeah. So because it's scary, Briar. Like literally, it's scary to look at the finances, right? Especially if it's not where you want it to be. That's number one. Number two is we're just not in the habit of focusing on the finances. That's just it. Whether or not it doesn't have to be scary, it's just like not a thing that I do, right? Some people say it's not a thing that I do. And so they would prefer if they don't have to do it. There are, people who would say, I would rather do something else, right? I would rather work on my business, do the things that I love. Because unless you're a finance professional or unless you're like, love numbers somehow and it's not your profession, you do not want to do the finances. I promise you.
Listen,
It's
I'd
boring.
rather get a root canal than do my finances.
There you
So,
there you go, right? So, yeah, like a lot of people just don't love doing the finances. I have a friend, Erin, who she laughs at me. Well, I laugh at her all the time because she literally looks at her finances every single day. And I'm like, you're the only person who takes a side of finances or a side of bookkeeping with your coffee. Everyone else avoids it, focus on their business, focus on the things that they actually like to do, right? And we'll talk a little bit more further about um, how you absolutely, I know you don't love it, but at some point, you have to develop a relationship with it. And you might even end up loving it. And I can tell you how you can end up loving it.
and I think what's key here is we've talked a lot about making that mindset shift, but there's also really the habit component, and those two things go hand in hand. You have to first love the numbers and then make a habit of interacting with them on a regular basis.
Absolutely. And I always, use the analogy of exercising, right? There is, well, I don't know anyone, I'm thinking, I don't know anyone who loves to exercise. But, you think about what's the end result, right? What are the benefits? And the benefits could be anything you want it to be. You might want to be healthier. You might want to look a certain way. You might want to lose weight, like whatever it is. When you think about that goal that you have, even though the exercising, the physical act of doing it is not, you don't like it, just thinking about the results is what motivates a lot of people, right? Same thing with your finances, same thing with your bookkeeping, same thing with knowing your numbers. You want to build a financially successful business so you can, have the lifestyle that you want to have, right? I refer back all the time to making sure that I have enough money to send my son to private school because I didn't like the public school system and I was fighting with them too much, right? So you have options, right? You might want to take care of your family, take care of yourself, do the things that you want to do, build a financially successful company, contribute to the world, contribute to have an impact, have an impact in the world, whatever that goal is. And that's why I keep coming back to my why all the time, because there's a saying or there's a quote about willpower, and I know, listen, if willpower worked, we would all have what we want,
That
right?
is correct.
99.9% of the time, it does not work. But you know what works? Your why, right? It helps you to get out of bed in the morning, right? It helps you to focus on the goal, right? And you will be a little uncomfortable for a while, sometimes for a long while, right? But being uncomfortable, knowing that I have to do this thing that I don't love to do in order to impact, transform somebody's life, impact someone. And let's not forget about the people that you're serving as well, right? There are people who are loving the work that you do in the world, and you are the only person who can make an impact in their lives, right? And so when you come from a place of service as well and say, listen, these people are depending on me, not just my family and me, but my clients, right? And again, you might not love doing a lot of the things, a lot of the finances, but that's the thing that will help you to get to that goal that you have.
Truly, it's though I can't manage the money, literally. I have dyscalculia. I cannot
Yes, you
manage
know?
the money,
Yes.
but I still look at the accounts every day. Every single day, I'm checking my accounts because they all change, especially when you are an entrepreneur.
Yep.
The amount of money that comes in changes daily. And the more that you're aware of the ebbs and flows, the easier it is to, and we talked about this last time, not freak out when things aren't going the way that they're supposed to.
Yes, absolutely. And and it's that first step, right? I'm not saying to jump right in and to start, budgeting and doing the numbers and being all up. No, what Briar said is, I just look at my accounts every single day, so I know what's going on with my bank accounts, and that's the first step in the breaking the ostrich effect, right? Taking your head out of the sand and looking at your accounts and say, oh, okay, this is what's happening with these accounts. Again, it does not have to look the way that you want it, not yet, right? That's why we're here. That's why we're talking about money mastery, right? But you at least have to take that first baby step in being aware. Okay, I'm aware of how much is in my bank account, how much is on my credit card statements, all of those things. Just be aware. That's how number one. We kind of got to there in a quickly, Briar, but that's definitely the how number one how.
And I think that, you mentioned exercise. I'm about to start a show next week with a gentleman who absolutely loves exercise, but it too is about habits and habit building. And so when we talk about the little steps, we look at the accounts first, then what's next?
Right. So we look at the accounts and we make a decision, right? Just looking and you're making a decision about what you want those to look like, right? You might look at your bank account and say, I would like to see more money in my bank account. I think that's about 100% of us,
Everyone would like to see more money in their bank account all of the times.
all of the time. That's number one. Number two, and then I want to make more money. You might look at your credit card balance and say, I want this to be way low or to be zero. right? I love that zero. I would love all of my credit cards to be at zero, no debt, right? Um, and so you start thinking about, okay, how can I make that happen? Again, we love to think in um, this all or nothing way of thinking, right? Oh my gosh, I have so much debt. How do I get rid of all of my debt next week, right? That's not what we're talking about here. You start to think now about a plan. Want more money in your bank account? Do I need to sell more? Do I need to bring more clients in? Do I need to pivot because this part of my business is not making enough money? I'm spending a lot of time here, and I would rather do this thing that is actually making me money, right? So we start thinking about how I can do that. And the formula for that, very simple, right? Um, and then you start looking at your debt as well and say, how can I bring my balance below 30% of the entire, because that's the sweet spot, right? That's where your credit is not, too adversely affected. When you bring your usage, credit card utilization down to 30% or less, right? So then you start putting the pen to paper. I don't want you to do this in your head. Pull up a spreadsheet, get a composition notebook, open a Word document, put those numbers on paper, and do not judge yourself. I think this is where a lot of us, it's this stops a lot of us, right? Because it's a visceral reaction sometimes. I've been there. It's a visceral reaction looking at the numbers and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I don't have more money. Oh, I can't believe I owe this much money, right? But I promise you, if you figure out a way to get over that, and listen, you don't have to do all this one time. Do not spend an hour. I repeat, do not spend an hour doing this planning, like moving from 0 to 100 in no time. Don't do that. Say to yourself, okay, I'm going to spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? And I'm going to write in my composition notebook how much I have in my accounts, how much I owe, and for each card, I'll put this down. And I'll just walk away and I'll do something else tomorrow. So today you do that. Make a note. Do not judge yourself, right? Whether you owe 10,000 or 100,000, whether you have 10,000 in the bank or 1,000 in the bank, that's not what we're here to do, right? We're here to change habits. When we talk about money mastery, the ultimate goal is for you to get to the point where you personally, right, want to be financially. And how you're going to get there, it's going to take some planning. It's going to take being uncomfortable for a little bit, but you will, if you start creating these habits and doing these actions, you absolutely will get there, right? So yeah, that's the next step, is to look at it first, right? Look at it, then just write it down somewhere, and then we're going to go on to the next thing.
One of the things that I have learned about the numbers is that they are not real unless I can visually see them
Yeah.
written down in some way. And that's just a fact. I can't I don't know. Maybe math geniuses can hold all of that stuff in their head.
Yeah.
I certainly cannot, and I don't want y'all to be carrying the emotional weight of keeping your numbers in your head.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing too is that I don't know the psychology behind this, but it just feels, it starts to take a weight off when you start putting things on paper, when you can see it there. It's like your wheels start turning and you're like, oh, this is what that number is. I wonder how I can change it, right? If it's in your head, if you're not even looking at the numbers, it's not even in your mind, right? Or if it's in your mind, it's very negative. Oh my gosh, I'm scared to look at my numbers. I'm scared to look at the credit card bill. I'm scared to look at my account because I'm not going to like what's in there. Right. And so that would be the story that's playing in your head, as opposed to, oh, this is what this is. This is how much this is. Um, how do we, the solutions start coming. How do we create a plan to change this, to increase this, to pay this off? And so that's again the first step, or the first few steps to start, changing those numbers and mastering your money.
And the thing here too, y'all, is there is no one true way.
Right.
My friend Marisa Lowen has the profit plan, which helps you visualize all of your expenses and income in your business. And then my friend Megan Hale has her Good, Better, Best program, which gives you three sets of numbers. Because for some people, one set of numbers is too difficult to wrap their brains around. So have three, have five, just know what the numbers are,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. And that's the thing with like there's no one method, right? And it just depends on you, on who you are, the way you learn, the way you process, right? And so if this is how it makes it easier for you to absorb, or easier to understand, or easier to take action, then by all means go that route. But the I guess the what I'm saying is, do something. Start something, start somewhere, and keep working towards your goal.
So, very specifically, what is it about 5 Minute Bookkeeper that
Mhm.
makes it different from all of these other systems?
Okay, so 5 Minute Bookkeeper is amazing, by the way.
Of course it is.
It's just really simple, and this works. And I have to tell you, Briar, that we launched 5 Minute Bookkeeper a little over 3.5 years ago. And one of the, apart from everybody saying how easy this tool is, finance tracking tool for your business finances, right? We also have 5 Minute Personal Tracker, which we also offer to some to our customers. What they've said is, my ADHD brain, right? My, the way that I learn, the way, and a lot of my clients are diagnosed with ADHD, right? And they're like, the way that it's laid out so I can easily read it, right? The way that the interface, the user experience, the way that I experience this product, this tracker, is unlike anything I've ever experienced with anything else, any other tool, right? And so they did just find the other tools overwhelming, right? And it's 5 Minute Bookkeeper was created for entrepreneurs who hate bookkeeping. Simple. If you don't want to do the bookkeeping, then we got you, right? Because the other tools, unfortunately, or the ones that I know of, they are built for accounting professionals. So you now go in, you buy this product, you go in and you see, chart of accounts, reconcile, like you're already confused. You're like, what am I doing here? I
I
have
don't know what any of that means.
exactly no idea what this means. And now, first of all, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this, right? Then you're making it overwhelming and challenging. And literally, a lot of my clients of 5 Minute Bookkeeper abandon whatever tool they have. And they're like, if you can make this easy, then oh my gosh. And I literally have emails from my clients all the time. I just started putting my numbers into 5 Minute Bookkeeper. It's so easy. I'm loving it. Right. So when I tell you that I make you love bookkeeping, I am serious. And so, that's how 5 Minute Bookkeeper comes in, where it lays it all out for you. There's no clicking around, there's no running reports. It's all right there for you to see. Drop your numbers in, categorize them. Two things. You have to do only two things for 5 minute bookkeeper. Put your numbers into 5 minute bookkeeper or copy and paste it in if you have a lot of numbers, right? Categorize, the drop down is right there. You don't even have to think about it. And then look at your profit and loss statement to see where you are so far this year, right? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as the kids would say, right?
No,
No,
the kids don't say that
not
anymore.
anymore. The old kids.
Yeah, we still say that sort of thing. The kids do not say that anymore.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that's it. Like no, chart of accounts trying to figure out. And we also have tons of support. There's no waiting 4 hours to talk to somebody on the phone that does not know what to tell you, right? Doesn't solve your problem. And that's literally, Briar, why I created 5 Minute Bookkeeper, because I knew that the other things that existed had so many, gaps, right? So many things that people need. Like, I'm like, this is what they need. And you're giving them everything except what they really, really need. And I came in and I'm like, how can I make this simple where I give them what they need so they can see their numbers, so they can run their business properly, so they can file their taxes on time, right? And save on the penalties and interest because, I'm like, they're overwhelmed. They don't get to do the bookkeeping. Another tax deadline passes. They file for the extension. The extension passes. The penalties are piling up. The interest is piling up. How can I get get the solution to them so they don't have to worry about all these things and lose money in the process, right? So yes, that's the how. The how is getting your numbers after you've written it down, after you know what's happening, after you've had the reaction, right? After you probably cried a little bit, and be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that I start making changes from now on. And 5 Minute Bookkeeper make that process very, very simple.
You mentioned something that I want to dig into a little bit more. The amount of money it costs you to hide your head in the sand
Mhm.
around your finances. Please explain in a broad way what that actually looks like.
So that looks like, and let's talk about the IRS because the IRS is the big bad wolf, right? They're the ones who, you can't get out of paying these penalties and interest, right? So you're running your business and you're bringing money in and you're making a profit, right? But you don't report this to the IRS. You don't file your taxes. You don't pay any money towards them, towards any tax, your tax year. You're not paying your quarterly taxes. And so you're running this business, making money, making a profit, but you're not doing anything about paying Uncle Sam. There is no way you can't get around it. You will have to, whether you're forced or you make a decision to do your taxes. You will have to do it, number one. And number two, you will be penalized, right? Five interest rates for the IRS is 5 to 25% compounded daily.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'd like to remind y'all, not very tongue in cheek at all, that a significant portion of the IRS is armed.
Yep.
So pay your taxes.
Yes. That's it. That's it. Because and you can, if you delay or when you delay this, you can end up paying more in penalties and interest than you originally owed, right? This is something that the a lot of people don't talk about. We talk about student loans all the time. Oh my gosh, it's so predatory, and which it is. But you know what's also up there with that? the penalties and
Mm.
interest that you pay to the IRS, because they will get their money and they will come for you and they will notice that you haven't filed your taxes and they will send you a letter in the mail, right? To let you know that you haven't filed your taxes, it's time to file, or you will be penalized, right? I don't know if I spoke about this on this show before, but I recently, last week, got a letter from the IRS that they were going to put a lien on my property because I have not paid my taxes.
Oh, wow.
I had paid my taxes. Their system showed that my taxes were paid. Their internal process is not great, right?
No.
Nobody's surprised, but they are quick to put a lien on your property. They're quick to put a lien on your bank account. If you have a W-2 job as well, your wages are garnished. They will be quick to take your passport so you can't travel. Let me tell you, you do not want to play with the IRS. I promise you, right? And so these simple things that you can start doing immediately, right? To get your books in order, to get your finances organized, to file your taxes. And because they're also, and listen, I don't want to make it seem like they're all bad. They also will work with you to get on a payment plan. So if you're somebody who's like, oh my gosh, I think I owe them thousands of dollars, you do not have to find thousands of dollars immediately to pay to them, right? They will work on um, installment agreements with you. They'll give you time to pay your bills. So it's not like you have to find all that money at one time. I know when you look at it, it looks like a lot, but even if it's a lot, getting the process started, getting your taxes filed, and starting to pay towards what you owe is much, much better. And it will kind of cut down on the interest and penalties that you're going to be paying if you just continue to delay that.
And I agree. I've had many encounters with the IRS over my career because between my husband and I, there have been many years when there are many W-2s or I-9s or
Yeah,
self-employment income, and we have been audited multiple times at this point in time. And it's fine if you've done all your math ahead of time.
absolutely.
If they send you a letter, we're garnishing your wages and we're putting a lien on your house, and you have all of this backup to go, no, no, actually, I've paid my taxes
Yes.
because they're still using computers from the 1970s,
Yes.
then you can straighten all of this up, but you have to have the numbers.
Yes. That's where you start. And a lot of time, well, not a lot of times, 99.9% of the times, entrepreneurs don't file their taxes because their bookkeeping isn't done.
Hmm.
That's the only thing that's holding them back. And so that's what I'm here to say. Like 5 Minute Bookkeeper will absolutely help you. And we stand behind these claims all the time, right? You can do a whole year of bookkeeping in less than an hour with 5 Minute Bookkeeper. And you might have had experience with other platforms and you're like, there is no way that I have been struggling over here for hours and hours with this other platform and I still haven't done my bookkeeping, right? And now you're telling me that I can do my bookkeeping for a whole year in less than an hour? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, right? And so I would say check out 5 Minute Bookkeeper. Briar has is an affiliate of mine, and I'm sure the link is going to be in the show notes where you can watch a demo of 5 Minute Bookkeeper. It's like a 2 to 3 minute demo. If you can dedicate 2 to 3 minutes to your business so that you can get your bookkeeping done, your taxes filed, and get that peace of mind, 2 to 3 minutes is worth it, I'm sure.
And listen, as with all the things that we teach here, We don't want you to feel guilty. There is no shame attached to the fact that this hasn't been done before.
Yep.
What we want for you to understand is here is a tool, here's a way out. Please give it a try. So, Nicole mentioned my affiliate link. It is, and you can find it at neurodiversitymedianetwork.com/5, the number 5 MBK. We will put those in the show notes. Nicole, tell me some of the ways that 5 Minute Bookkeeper has changed people's businesses.
Oh my goodness. Where do I begin? I remember one of my clients maybe a couple of years ago, Sylvia Torres, and she literally wrote this on Facebook, right, on social media. So she was using another platform for her bookkeeping, and 2 days before the tax deadline, she went in, tried to work that system to generate her P&L, her profit and loss statement, so that she could file her taxes. And she said the system failed her. And I distinctly remember when she got 5 Minute Bookkeeper. I was because I'd known Sylvia on the internet streets, and she just didn't strike me as somebody who needed 5 Minute Bookkeeper because she knew about it even when I just launched. She knew about it, and this by this point, we had launched for a while. The price had like increased twice already. So again, as I said, she wasn't on my radar. So when I saw the notification come in that Sylvia had gotten 5 Minute Bookkeeper, I was like, oh, that's interesting and surprising because I didn't expect her. And then when she did the write up, right, about it, I'm like, oh, that's why. Because I was almost sure I knew she was using something else, right? And so all praises to 5 Minute Bookkeeper. She raved, and we have that testimonial on our website, right, where she said 5 Minute Bookkeeper came in clutch and she was able to get her numbers organized. Took her a little while, get it organized, but in that one day after buying it, got everything together, filed her taxes, didn't have to worry about missing the deadline, right? And there are tons and tons of other, testimonials from other clients who are like, I used to hate bookkeeping. I used to hate these platforms that I use. And now I think I'm enjoying this. Like a big question sign. They're like, I'm enjoying, like, am I supposed to enjoy bookkeeping? It's like I'm saying I enjoy somebody sticking needles in me. But it's true. Like they're like, I'm actually enjoying this. I'm enjoying seeing how my numbers are shaking out. I enjoy seeing what my year to date is, like how much money I've made so far this year. There's one client who actually made six figures. She hit her first six-figure year, and she didn't even know until she was using 5 Minute Bookkeeper to do her catching up. And she's like, "Oh my goodness, I hit six figures!" And I'm like, "That's amazing!" And I'm happy that you were able to learn that. But can you imagine if you were doing this consistently, weekly, monthly? Then you would have seen that you could have celebrated sooner instead of like 3, 4 months later. So yeah, just seeing the numbers laid out so easily is what really have really simple and easy. That's what 5 Minute Bookkeeper is. And then there's another client, my last client, who actually is working with me one on one right now, and she, I said to her, okay, I think you can graduate from 5 Minute Bookkeeper because honestly, when I created 5 Minute Bookkeeper, I created it for the entrepreneur who was DIYing their own bookkeeping. They couldn't afford to outsource it yet, right? And this client, her business has grown. We work together. We do her bookkeeping, and I said to her, let's use this other platform. Bookkeepers on my team will do your account in there, and she said no. She's like, no, I love how 5 minutes. Again, another client who has ADHD. And she says, that messes with my brain. 5 Minute Bookkeeper is simple, is easy. I can see all my numbers laid out in one view. I want to keep it that way, right? And so that's just the magic of 5 Minute Bookkeeper. When I was creating it, I had no idea it would have such an impact on my clients. But now that I'm doing this for a few years and listening to my clients, testing, tweaking, iterating, making sure that I'm creating something that most of my clients are asking for. Because I think that's the problem with a lot of different tools, right? Or systems. They are stuck in that one way. And even when people are complaining and they're like, we don't like it this way, we prefer it that way. And there's thousands of people saying the exact same thing, but they're not changing or they're not accommodating. I think that's where the frustration is. So over here, we listen to our clients. If it makes sense, if quite a few people are asking for it, then we're like, okay, how can we incorporate this into our program, so that we can make sure that we have satisfied customers, and it's worked really well.
That's because, as a dear friend once told me, accommodations are optional and standards are all of the time.
Mm,
And what you have done is incorporate a core set of standards that
yep.
allows you to iterate around what people actually need.
Yes, absolutely. And one of our core values here at Design Your Wealth, which is the parent company, is integrity, right? We make sure that we're doing this for the money, but it's not just for the money, right? We're doing this because we want to help you get the results that you want quickly, right? And simply. And so when we say to ourselves, we want anyone, from your grandmother to your third grader can use 5 Minute Bookkeeper, and your grandmother joins our program, and they're saying they can use 5 Minute Bookkeeper, that's how we do it. Like, we don't say, oh, anyone can do this, and then you come in and you're like, girl, this is not for everyone. I cannot do this. This is hard. No, when we say anyone can do this, or we say your grandma or your third grader, you best believe. And if you're having a challenge, we will work with you until it works, because we know how simple and easy it is. And we know that it works if you just keep working with us, keep coming to our talking to our customer service, keep coming to our office hours, keep coming to our money dates. We provide all of the things, all the resources to ensure that you are successful in your bookkeeping journey.
We do a lot of work on the back end, and I've talked about this a little bit, vetting the people who are invited to co-host, vetting our sponsors. And one of the reasons that I desperately wanted to have you on the network is that you are so dedicated to making it work for people, and that you don't just throw a spreadsheet at them and
Right.
say, good luck with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and that's what our clients love about us, right? They're like, "Oh my goodness, you answer your emails the same day," or my Camila, who's on my team, they will send me messages. Camila's a godsend. Oh my goodness, she's so patient. And so that's what I want for my business. I want people to know that we're integrous, and we don't only say that, right? We walk the talk, right? And so anytime you cross our paths, anytime you get any of our products, we ensure that we provide all of the resources to make sure that you're successful, right? And we stand on that, right? There's no one who can say, we reached out and we didn't hear back, or they didn't help me. No, we make sure that and we treat all our clients the same way. We value them. We make sure that they are, by the time we're done with them, or they're done with us, their bookkeeping is organized. They file their taxes. Their tax professionals love them. They're like, where did you get this? Oh my goodness, this is so organized, right? That's what we do, right? We make sure that our clients walk away with that feeling of, oh my goodness, finally found something that is impacting my finances, because we want to help you to build bigger businesses, build financially successful businesses, make an impact in the world, right? An impact in your locally and globally, I like to say. And the only way you can do that is mastering your money. And the first step is to track it. Basic, basic, basic. Keep track of it.
And y'all, that's all there is to say about that.
Yeah.
Nicole, this has been such a delight. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last several months while we did this. Y'all, thank you for watching. Again, you can find all of the episodes on neurodiversitymedianetwork.com/5 minute bookkeeper. And please, if you have questions, feel free to reach out. It's hello@designyourwealth.net.
Yeah.
And we'll field comments in on the Substack. Just know that the goal here is for you to feel supported.
Yeah.
That's it. And we would love to help you do that. Nicole would love to help you do that.
Yes. Thank you so much, Briar. This has been so amazing. Just being able to talk about what we do, how we help our customers, how we change people's lives, right? Change your life and your business is what we do. And um, so honored to, you know, be in this space with you, to talk with you, to share with our audiences about me, my company, 5 Minute Bookkeeper. And yeah, I'm so grateful. So thank you.
Thank you, y'all. I hope your life has been changed, and we will see you next time. Have an amazing day.
Bye.